What is up, everybody? JT Dangerously once again. I am here to do my Week 14 college football predictions. Championship week. Now, with week 13 in the books, we are now into the final week of the regular season, and it is indeed championship week. So I'm very excited to do these week 14 predictions for you guys, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Now, our record coming into championship week after a pretty solid rivalry week, we went 15-10. So our overall record coming in is 111-60. So we're coming in hot. We haven't had a losing record since week 2, and I'm looking to keep it that way. So hoping this video we will continue the winning ways. We're on an 11-week winning streak. Hoping this video we will cap off an amazing year in college football predictions on the channel and finish with a 12-week winning streak. Hopefully. Now, this is the first of 2 big videos that will be up on the channel today, so I hope you guys will be able to watch both these videos. As always, show your support by watching these videos, super kicking those like buttons, hitting that notification bell, commenting your picks, your opinions, and representing your college football teams in the comment sections down below. Now, if this is your first time watching my channel as a first-time viewer, and this is your first video, boy, you picked to go in if you're a huge college football fan like myself and you're ready for the final week of the regular season. Welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. I am JT Dangerously. Welcome to the club, because this club is 2. Whoop, whoop. Again, thank you guys so very much. Now, other than that, let's get right into these Week 14 college football predictions. Starting off on Friday night with the first of 3 random championship games of the week, and it is for the MAC title that's going to be played in Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan, between the Buffalo Bulls facing the Northern Illinois Huskies. Now, this is the 13th meeting between Buffalo and Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois leads the all-time series 11-1. Northern Illinois has won the last 11 meetings, and the Bulls are looking to defeat the Huskies for the first time, and listen to this, folks, since 1968. They've been waiting 50 years to defeat the Huskies. Now, both teams are coming out very different. Week 13th in the MAC Conference. Buffalo's coming off their big win over Bowling Green on Black Friday, coming in at 10-2. Northern Illinois coming off their loss to Western Michigan on Tuesday, coming in at 7-5. Now, this game is definitely big for Buffalo because they're looking to win the MAC title for the first time since 2008. And they're looking to cap off an amazing year. They're 10-2. I mean, nobody thought they would be this good this season. And Buffalo's looking to cap it off with a MAC championship. Then on your side, you have Northern Illinois looking to win their 4th MAC championship, their last one all the way back 4 years ago in 2014. And Northern Illinois is looking to cap off their year with another MAC title. So coming from me in this matchup on Friday night for the MAC championship, I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bulls to defeat the Northern Illinois Huskies. And now the next matchup, which will also be on Friday night, it is the Pac-12 Championship that will be played at Levi Stadium in San Francisco, California, between the Utah Utes facing the Washington Huskies. Now, this is the 13th meeting between Utah and Washington. The Huskies lead the all-time series 11-1. The Huskies won the last 3 meetings against the Utes, including in September, defeating them 21-7, and Utah is looking to defeat the Huskies for the first time since 2015. Now, both teams are coming off big wins in rivalry week. Utah coming off their come-from-behind win in the Holy War against BYU, coming in at 9-3, and the Huskies coming off their big win in the Apple Cup game against Washington State on Black Friday, also coming in at 9-3. Now, this game is big, especially for Utah, because Utah has never won the Pac-12 championship, and I know a lot of people, including myself, didn't expect Utah to be in this situation. I mean, I didn't expect them to win the Pac-12 South. For me, it was going to be USC or Colorado. But Utah shut up a lot of naysayers, including myself, thinking that they didn't belong in the Pac-12 championship game. But they have proven themselves worthy, and they're looking to cap off an amazing year by winning the Pac-12 championship for the first time in their school's history. The other year side, you have the Washington Huskies coming off their big win over Washington State in the Apple Cup. They are back in the big Pac-12 championship, and they're looking to win it for the first time in 2 years. And Jake Browning has done a fantastic job there. Miles Gaskin running the ball, and our former Boise State Broncos coach Chris Peterson has done a fantastic job in Seattle. So coming from me in the Big 12 championship game on Friday night, oh man, this one's tricky. Utah is really good. They did come from behind to beat BYU, but coming from me, I got to go with Jake Browning and the Washington Huskies to once again be the Pac-12 champions and defeat the Utah Utes in a close one. And now the next matchups, which will be on Saturday. It is the American Athletic Conference Rematch Championship between the Memphis Tigers facing off against the undefeated Central Florida Knights. Now, this is the 14th meeting between UCF and Memphis. UCF leads the old-time series 12-1. UCF has won the last 12 meetings against Memphis, and the Tigers are looking to defeat the Knights for the first time since 1990. Now, both teams are coming off big wins in Week 13 in the American Athletic Conference. Memphis coming off their big win over Houston on Black Friday, coming in at 8-4, and UCF coming off their big win over rival South Florida on Black Friday, coming in undefeated at 11-0. Now, this game last year was so amazing. If you didn't see last year's game, it went to double overtime. It was the score of 62-55, and that capped off UCF's magical season last year. Now, starting off with Memphis, this is their chance of redemption. They didn't get it done last year, but this year they have a very good chance to finally win their school's first American Athletic Conference Championship. Then on the other side, you have the UCF Knights coming in undefeated, but they lost a huge key to their team this year. If you didn't see in that South Florida game, Mackenzie Milton did get hurt. He looks like he did break his leg, so he's not going to be playing. And what a way to lose your quarterback before the biggest championship game of your school's career. Looking to repeat as American Athletic Conference champions. Looking to continue the longest active winning streak in college football, the college football season right now with 24 game winning streak. Just to lose your quarterback before that game just hurts UCF big time. And their chances of staying undefeated even after this game is going to be very, very slim. So coming from me in the rematch for the American Athletic Conference Championship, Memphis now officially has a chance to end UCF's undefeated streak. Without Mackenzie Milton, it definitely hurts UCF. But coming from me, I got to go with the UCF Knights to finish up the season once again undefeated and defeat the Memphis Tigers in a really, really close one. And now the next matchup. It is the second of the 3 random championship games of the week. And it is for the first ever Sun Belt Championship between the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns heading to Boone to face the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Excuse me. Now, both teams are coming off big wins in the Sun Belt Conference in Week 13. Louisiana Lafayette defeating Louisiana Monroe on Saturday to make it to this championship game, coming in at 7-5. And Appalachian State coming off their big win over Troy on Saturday, coming in at 9-2. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about Louisiana Lafayette other than their football team's name is the Raging Cajuns, and I actually love that name as a football team. And Louisiana Lafayette is looking to cap off a big year by winning the first ever Sun Belt Championship. Then on the other side, you have the Appalachian State Mountaineers coming off their big win over Troy. They're coming in 9-2, and talk about a team that's been having a great year. Even though they gave Penn State a run for their money in overtime in Week 1, they have stepped up each and every week, and they're looking to cap off an amazing year by winning the Sun Belt Championship. So coming from me in the first ever Sun Belt Championship, I got to go with the Appalachian State Mountaineers to defeat the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns. And now the third of the random championship games of the week. It is the Conference USA Championship between the UAB Blazers heading to Middle Tennessee to face the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. Now, this is the 8th meeting between the Blue Raiders and the Blazers. The Blue Raiders lead the all-time series 4-3. Middle Tennessee won the last meeting on Saturday, defeating UAB 27-3, and UAB is looking to defeat Middle Tennessee for the first time in over a year. Now, both teams are coming off very different Week 13s in the Conference USA Conference because they played each other. UAB's coming in at 9-3, Middle Tennessee coming in at 8-4. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about UAB other than I remember them not having a football program for a couple years, and then they resurfaced a year ago, and now this year they're making it to their first Conference USA Championship and looking to cap off an amazing year by winning the Conference USA title. Then you have the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders coming in. They're looking to do what they did in Week 13, defeat UAB, but on a bigger stage. So coming from me in the Conference USA Championship, this one's tough, but I'm going to go with the UAB Blazers to defeat the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders in a close one. And now the next matchup. It is the Mountain West Conference Championship in the much anticipated rematch between this city's Fresno State Bulldogs heading to the Smurf Turf to face and the reigning Mountain West Conference champions, my Boise State Broncos. Now, both teams are coming in 10-2, big wins in the Mountain West Conference in Week 13, and this game we'll see who will win the Mountain West Conference. Now, starting off with Fresno State, they're coming in at 10-2, and they have given the Broncos a run for their money. The last time they played was, I think, about 2 or 3 months ago in Boise, where Boise State beat them by a score of 23-16, if I remember that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this Fresno State team is looking to cap off an amazing year. They're looking to win the Mountain West Conference title for the first time since 2013, and they're looking to cap off another fantastic year by Coach Jed Tedford. I mean, he has done a fantastic job in Fresno, and this city is definitely rocking with the Fresno State Bulldogs this year. And they're looking to cap it off with a Mountain West Conference championship. Then on the other side, you have the reigning Mountain West Conference champions, my Boise State Broncos, coming off their big win at home, defeating Utah State. And they're coming in looking to once again prove that they are the best team in the Mountain West Conference. Even though we did lose 2 games this season, we bounced back. We knocked off possibly the top team in the Mountain West Conference in Utah State to get here, and we're looking to cap off another fantastic year with another Mountain West title. So coming from me in the Mountain West Conference Championship, for sure I'm going to be picking Fresno State in a bowl game, but in this matchup, I'm going to stick with my Boise State Broncos to repeat as Mountain West Conference champions and defeat the Fresno State Bulldogs in another close battle. And now the next matchup. It is the Big Ten Championship game that will be played at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis between the Northwestern Wildcats facing off against the reigning Big Ten champions, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, this is the 77th meeting between Northwestern and Ohio State. The Buckeyes lead the old-time series 61-14-1. The Buckeyes have won the last 6 meetings against the Wildcats, and the Wildcats are looking to defeat the Buckeyes for the first time since 2004. Now, both teams are coming off big wins in Week 13 in the Big Ten Conference. Northwestern beating Illinois on Saturday, coming in at 8-4, and Ohio State blowing out Michigan on Saturday, coming in at 11-1. I guess Michigan can't win when it matters. Now, for me, this is kind of a mismatch because, yes, Northwestern is making the Big Ten Championship for the first time in a while. They're looking to win the Big Ten Championship outright for the first time since 1995. And a lot of people didn't expect Northwestern to be here. A lot of people thought it was going to be Wisconsin or Iowa. But they definitely proved a lot of the naysayers wrong, and they're looking to cap off an amazing year by winning the Big Ten Championship. Then on the other side, you have the Ohio State Buckeyes coming in at 11-1. They blew out Michigan. They put up a 60-burger on Michigan, and Ohio State's looking to once again repeat as Big Ten champions. I mean, Dwayne Haskins has done a fantastic job. Urban Meyer once again does it again against Michigan. I guess we know what Michigan's kryptonite is every season, and that's the Ohio State Buckeyes. So coming from me in the Big Ten Championship game, biggest question is, can Northwestern keep up with Ohio State? Because if you don't score and they score, it's not going to be a pretty game. So coming from me, I'm going to take the Ohio State Buckeyes to repeat as Big Ten champions and defeat the Northwestern Wildcats. OHIO. And now the next matchup, it is the one I've been waiting for. It is the Red River Rivalry rematch in the Big 12 championship game that will be played at AT&T Stadium in Dallas between the Texas Longhorns facing my Oklahoma Sooners. Now, both teams are coming off big wins in the Big 12 in Week 13. Texas coming off their big win over Kansas on Black Friday, coming in at 9-3, and my Sooners coming off a tough big win over a very good West Virginia team by the score of 59-56, coming in at 11-1. Now, starting off with Texas, this could easily be their best year in a long, long time. Since the Mac Brown years, this Texas team this year has definitely stepped up. They're looking to win the Big 12 championship for the first time since 2009, and they're looking to cap off an amazing year by once again trying to knock off my Oklahoma Sooners. Then on the other side, you have my Sooners coming in at 11-1. We're the reigning 3-time Big 12 champions, and we're looking to make it championship number 4. And Lincoln Riley has done an amazing job at Oklahoma. He is continuing the success of Bob Stoops when he left. Kyler Murray has done a fantastic job. And I know a lot of people have been talking about our defense being bad, but let's put this in a nutshell. The Big 12 Conference is all offense, no defense. So when they talk about our defense, it's for me as a Sooners fan, I've heard it so many times before because our conference has a lot of offense but doesn't show a lot of defense. So coming from me in this Red River rivalry rematch for the Big 12 Championship, I will admit Texas beat us in the Red River rivalry game. They did beat us. I will admit that. But in the Big 12 Championship, you already know. I'm going with my Oklahoma Sooners to make it 4 times Big 12 champions and defeat the Texas Longhorns in another offensive shootout. And now the next matchup. It is the ACC Championship game between the Pitt Panthers facing off against the reigning 3-time ACC champions, the undefeated Clemson Tigers. Now this is only the 3rd meeting between Pitt and Clemson. Pitt leads the all-time series 2-0. Pittsburgh has won the last 2 meetings. Their last meetup between Pitt and Clemson was 2016 when Pitt beat Clemson. And Clemson has never beaten Pittsburgh in the regular season or in a championship parameters. Now, both teams are coming off very different week 13s in the ACC Conference. Pittsburgh coming off their loss to the U on Saturday. I guess the U got their revenge from last year, coming in at 7-5. And Clemson coming off their big win over South Carolina on Saturday, coming in undefeated and still part of the college football playoff at 12-0. Now, starting off with Pittsburgh, this is their biggest game of the year because they have never been in the ACC title game. This is their first trip here. And they're looking to prove that the ACC Coastal can still hang with the ACC Atlantic. But lately, it's not been a good year for the Coastal in the ACC Championship game. We saw what happened last year with Miami and Clemson. And Pittsburgh is looking to end that streak in the Coastal and looking to win the the ACC title for the Coastal Division. Then on your other side, you have the reigning ACC champs, the Clemson Tigers, coming in undefeated. I mean, Dabo Swinney has done a fantastic job. Taylor Lawrence has done a fantastic job at quarterback. This Clemson team is just continuing to win and win and win. And with the win here, they'll be guaranteed a lock in the college football playoff. And coming in as the reigning 3-time ACC champions, this team is easily the best team in the ACC conference right now. So coming from me, in this year's ACC championship game, I don't know if Pittsburgh can keep up. I just do not see Pittsburgh keeping up with Clemson. So coming from me, I am taking the Clemson Tigers to make it 4 times and win the ACC title and defeat the Pitt Panthers. And now the next matchup, the game which College Game Day will be at this week. It will be the SEC Championship game in Atlanta, Georgia, between the #1 team in the nation, the Alabama Crimson Tide, facing off against the reigning SEC champions, the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, this is the 69th meeting between Bama and Georgia. Bama leads the all-time series 39-25-4. Bama has won the last 4 meetings against the Bulldogs, including their national championship win over the Bulldogs last year. And Georgia's looking to defeat Bama for the first time since 2007. Now, both teams are coming off big wins on rivalry week. Alabama coming off their big blowout win over Auburn in the Iron Bowl on Saturday, coming in undefeated at 12-0 and the #1 team in the college football playoff. And the Georgia Bulldogs coming off their big win over Georgia Tech in the good old-fashioned hate rivalry, coming in at 11-1. Now, starting off with Alabama, this Bama team, I don't know what else to say other than this team looks unstoppable. Even Auburn couldn't keep up with Alabama because as soon as, if your team doesn't score first against Alabama and they score, it's going to be a wrap before halftime. And it was just that. Alabama got it done, and they're looking to cap off in another amazing year by winning the SEC title for the first time in 2 years and win their 27th SEC title in school history. Then on your side, you have the reigning champs, the Georgia Bulldogs, looking to be the first team in college football this season to knock off the Alabama Crimson Tide. They are the reigning SEC champions. They're looking to win their 14th SEC title, and they're looking to do it in practically a home field game because this game is in Atlanta and the Georgia Bulldogs play in Athens. So this is practically a home game for Georgia. So how can they lose? Jake Fromm is doing a fantastic job, and Kirby Smart is looking to cap off a year by knocking off looking to cap off a year by knocking off Alabama and repeating as SEC East champions. So coming from me in the SEC Championship in Atlanta, man, Georgia does have a pretty good chance to maybe keep up with Alabama, but coming from me, as much as I want Georgia to win, even if they beat Alabama, Alabama's still going to make it to the college football playoffs, so it really doesn't matter. But my heart wants to pick Georgia, but coming from me, I got to go with the undefeated Alabama Crimson Tide to once again be the SEC champions and defeat the Georgia Bulldogs in a close matchup. Roll damn Tide. And now the final matchup in Week 14 that will happen next week, because College Game Day will be at Philadelphia next week for the two of the most famous military academies in college football, between the Army Black Knights facing off against the Midshipmen of Navy. Now, this is the 119th meeting between Army and Navy. Navy leads the all-time series 60, 51, and 7. Army has won the last two meetings against the Midshipmen, and Navy is looking to defeat the Black Knights for the first time since 2015. Now, both teams are coming off very different weeks in college football. Army coming off a big win against Colgate 2 weeks ago. They're coming in at an impressive 9-2. And Navy's coming off their loss to the Green Wave of Tulane by 1 point on Saturday, coming in at 3-9. Now, talk about a year for the Army Black Knights. I mean, they won the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. They are the best military academy team this year. And a lot of people didn't expect Army to be this good. And I didn't expect them to be this good. But Army is looking to cap off an amazing year by knocking off their rivals in Annapolis. Then on the other side, you have the Navy Midshipmen coming off easily their worst year. I mean, Air Force did not have a great year this year, and neither did Navy. And Navy's looking to just cap off the year by knocking off their rivals at West Point. So coming from me in the final game in Week 14 and the next installment of the Army-Navy game, man, I gotta go with the Army Black Knights beat Army to defeat the Navy Midshipmen. So go Army, beat Navy. And those are my Week 14 college football predictions, championship week. So I want to thank you guys so very much for watching this video today. Comment below, who do you have winning during this championship week? Do you see any upsets happening in the championship games? Who do you have winning the ACC title? Who do you win in the SEC title? Pac-12, Big Ten, ACC, Big 12, Mountain West Conference. Who do you have winning those championship games, and who do you have winning between Army and Navy? Let me know in the comment section below your picks. And as always, represent your team, your college football teams, in the comment sections down below. Let's have a conversation about it. Of course, I'm always on to see your comment, like it, and of course, reply right back to you, because comments are absolutely always welcome on this channel. Now, I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching all of my college football predictions this year. It was another fantastic year in college football predictions on the channel. It was all thanks to you guys. You guys made it so much fun to do. Thank you guys for all the support. And you already know we're going to be running this shit back next September. Now, before you guys go, you guys can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share with friends. Of course, super kick that like button like only you guys can. Of course, you can never forget to do this as well. That subscribe button, become part of this bigger and dangerous alliance. And I will see you guys later today for my Week 13 NFL predictions. Later days, guys, and peace.